We're back at Sonny's. Today we're going to be packing the wheel bearings and adjusting the parking brake on his 1930 Town Sedan. Are you ready?
Yes.
So before we pack the wheel bearings, we need to remove the wheels. So I have it jacked up and the lug nuts have already been loosened by Sonny. So now we're just going to take them off. Okay, lugs are removed. We can take off the wheel. Set that aside. Now we need to take off the cotter pin. Okay, so we're going to remove the cotter pin from the spindle nut. These are some very strong cotter pins. Okay. Okay, there goes the cotter pin.
Remember how I showed you to do it? That's it. That's a boy.
What would I do without you?
I know.
And then we're going to remove the nut. Like that. There we go. Now we're going to carefully pull off the drums like that and then remove the washer and wheel bearing and then pull off the brake drum. Okay, then you're going to take out the inner wheel bearing. And as you can see, these aren't too bad, but they're definitely due for a packing.
Go.
Okay, so to pack a wheel bearing, you're going to get some wheel bearing grease. You're going to get a nice glob of it on your hand. And then you're going to take the bearing and the bottom side of it, you're just going to press it until you see the grease coming out of the top. And then you just keep rotating around. So look, now the grease is coming out. Now we can move on, like that. Okay, so now that the inner bearing's packed, it's gonna go right on there, like that. And then the outer bearing is the same thing. All right, so we put the inner bearing in, that's all packed. Now we're gonna take the brake drum. There. Then you're gonna take your inner bearing and the taper faces inward like that. Then you're gonna take your washer, which is keyed, so it fits in that little slot. Like that. And then you're gonna take your nut. And then there's a way to put it back on. So you have to kind of adjust the wheel bearings so they seat properly. So what you're gonna do, I'm gonna take these off. So you're gonna take your wrench first, tighten it down to where it bottoms out like that. Good. And you're going to do this, and you're just going to keep tightening. you're just gonna tighten as you spin the drum, and then you're gonna make sure the cotter pinhole is lined up. And there it is perfectly. And now you're gonna install your cotter pin. Okay, you're just gonna bend it over like that. Kinda bend it down so it's not in the way of the rim. That's good. Wheel bearings are done. Now I'm gonna put the wheels back on. They're a lot heavier than they look. Let's see, there we go. Lined up. And the lug nuts, they should be torqued to 64 foot-pounds. Okay, so wheels are semi-tightened. Now we're just going to take it off the jack stands. Lower it down. And now we're going to torque the lug. Okay, so we have our torque wrench set to 64 foot-pounds. And now we're just going to torque the lug nuts. All right, job is done. Now we're headed out for a drive to get lunch. So enjoy the views. And cover your ears. Yeah, that's good. Space, not much left. Not around here, at least. Woo-hoo! You know, this has a good horn, but I think I like mine better.
Good. Coming at Dawn's. blame it on Zoe.
All right, we're at our lunch stop. Little Anthony's. All right, we just got our food. All right, we just had lunch. Thanks, Sonny, for lunch. Now we're headed out for a nice ride. This is the Marsh Creek State Park. You can see, it looks like a lake. There's a bunch of horses. Yep, there it is. Where are we?
Marsh Creek.
No, like what?
Lindell.
There it is. All right, let's go for a swim. You think the Model A will float?
Turn the, like the Amper car, what's it called?
Yeah, Amphicar. People kayaking or something. There's the boat ramp. Should we try it?
Let's wait till we go home and get yours.
In our swimming clothes and bathing suits.
The next morning.
Here we are pulling into the car show. All right, we're at the Hershey Mills Car Club car show in Westchester, and we have 7 Model A's from the Active A, so I'm just going to show you around at the cars. We're headed back from the car show. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next week.